Hi there, welcome to this video. My name's Danny, and today I'm going to teach you all about the intervals, or the scale intervals, the interval numbers, whatever you want to call them. That is what I'm going to be talking about. And so we're going to learn three things. We're going to learn exactly what they are. We're going to learn the chords that go along with them, and we're going to learn why they're important and what you can do with them. But just a couple things before we get into it. If you have any questions about this after the video, then please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I'll be so happy to hear from you and to help you out in whatever way you can. And also, if you're looking for a great online piano course that has awesome lessons, teaches you a bunch of different styles, then go ahead and check out the link that's in the description below this video. And there's a piano course there that I highly recommend. So definitely check that out. With that being said, let's go ahead and get right into it now. So we're going to just be mainly looking at the key of C today, although I'm going to use some other keys to show you what we're talking about. So give you some examples. All right. So what are the interval numbers? Here is my definition of the interval numbers. So basically, if we take the C major scale, we have these 7 unique notes: C, D, E, F, G, A, B. We have those 7 unique notes. So the interval numbers are basically this. Instead of giving those notes letters, we are giving them numbers. So I just told you what the notes are. We start with C, D, E, and so forth. Hopefully you know the notes of the piano. I have a video for that. If you don't, that'll help you out. But anyway, so those are the notes, obviously, but the scale intervals, or the interval numbers, are this. Instead of calling those by their note names with letters, we just give them numbers. So here is how that looks. We have, if we're in the key of C, like I just played, we start with this, and this is a C, but in the key of C, this is 1, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and back to the 1. So that is it. Those are the interval numbers. I think the best way to think of it is, instead of giving the notes letters, you are giving them numbers, and that is intervals. So again, if we just take the letters, it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And if we take interval numbers, then we're thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It is really just that simple. So I hope that clears it up for you. Now, the thing is also that if we look at the C major scale, then we just have like the regular numbers with nothing attached to them. But if we're thinking in the key of C and we play this note, then obviously there's a couple things that this could be in the key of C. This can either be a flat 3. So we take the 3 and make it flat because we're going down for flats, right? I'm assuming that you know what sharps and flats are. So a flat means that you go down, a sharp means that you go up. So anyway, so this can be a flat 3, or this could also be a sharp 2. So that means we take the 2 and make it sharp, because this note is either an E flat or it's a D sharp. So that means that it is in the key of C a 3 flat or a 2 sharp. So you can do that with any of the notes. If we were to take the F sharp here in the key of C, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 5 flat, or that could be a 4 sharp. But we don't say 5 flat, we say a flat 5. Or a sharp 4. That's how we say it with the interval numbers. We say the sharp, and then the number, or the flat, and then the number. So that is how all those work in the key of C, or in any key. You know, you can have sharp or flat interval numbers as well. If we were to take that to the key of F, which has one flat, and that's B flat, then here are the notes. We have F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, and then back to F. So those are the note names, and then for the interval numbers, we just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that is what they are. It really is pretty simple when you just break it down to the basics like that. Now, let's talk about the chords, which makes it just a little more complicated, but not much when you really think about it. Okay, so if we're looking at the key of C still, which the diatonic major only includes these white keys. I'm only using my pointer finger just to show you what they are. It makes it easier to see, I think, in the videos. But anyway, so that is the key that we're in. Like I played in the intro for this video, I was actually playing chords. And so if we look at the chord progression that I played was a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression. And if you don't know what that means, let me show you. If we take the 1 chord in the key of C, I'm going to show you exactly what that is. You remember our interval numbers, we have the 1, which is C. But if we want to do a 1 chord, then it's really pretty simple. We are doing a 1, which is C, of course, and then a chord. A chord is, of course, 3 or more notes. And this is our basic triad chord, so hopefully you're familiar with that as well. Our basic triad for C is going to be C, E, G. So those 3. All right, so that is how the interval numbers work for the chords. So if we're wanting to play a 1 chord, then we play a 1 chord. That is the basic form of this. It can get more complicated depending on what kind of chord you're playing, but that's how it works. So if we wanted to play a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression, what does that look like, really? It looks like this. We have a 1 chord, and just by the way, it's good to play the notes together when you play a chord. I'm just doing them separate to show you how it works. You have a 1 chord. But it's good when you practice them just to play the notes all together. Like that. Using these fingers when possible. The 1, 3, 5, which is thumb, middle finger, pinky finger. For most of them. Anyway, so yeah, that's how that goes. And so if we're looking at a 1, 5, 6, 4 progression, then we have 1, and then 5. What's our 5 interval? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In C, the key of C, that's going to be G. So our 5 chord is going to be a G chord. And then the next one was 6. We know that this is 5. We were just on 5. So we just go 1 note up, and that's 6. So that's our 6 interval. So our 6 chord is going to be an A minor chord. And then the last chord in the progression was a 4. So if we have 6, then we go down to 5 and then 4. So we play the 4 chord. This is a 4 chord in the key of C. So if we were to play that all together, that 1, 5, 6, 4, it's like this. And you might recognize that sound, that chord progression, because you might have heard it in tons and tons of songs. It's literally in hundreds, thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of songs. It's all over the place. So many hit songs have that chord progression. I'm sure you've heard it. I could start listing them off, but I won't do that anyway. So that is what that means. Let's just look at some of the other chords, though, in our scale. So we've done 1, 4, 5, 6. All right, and so I'll do a little quiz here. How about a 3 chord? If I say 3 chord, can you find the 3 chord? What do you think? Here we go. Let's do it together. We have 1, 2, 3. So there's our 3, and this is our chord. So that's our 3 chord in C, and it's an E minor chord. How about the 2 chord? That's pretty easy. It's right next to it. So we go down from 3 to 2, and this is our 2 chord. It's a D minor chord. Okay, what about our 7 chord? That's a strange one. So we go all the way up to our 7, which is B, and we play this chord right here, which happens to be a diminished chord. It's a very tense and kind of spooky sounding chord. It reminds me of like black and white movies or soundless movies when they just had to use music instead of being able to have voice actors and stuff. But anyway, so that's a diminished chord. We really don't use the 7 chord in songs very much, but that's a whole nother lesson. But that's the 7 chord. So if we were to go all the way back down, we have the 6 chord, the 5 chord, the 4 chord, the 3 chord, the 2 chord, and the 1 chord. So it might seem complicated when you first look at it or when you first hear about it, but it's really pretty simple. It's really quite systematic. You just have to take the key that you're in and you use this shape. You're skipping a note in between. You just play the chords and you go up and you have all your chords right there. So you just have to stay in the key that you're in. If we were to go back to F, which has, remember, 1 flat, B flat, then here's our 1 chord, our 2 chord, I have to play the B flat, remember, our 3 chord, our 4 chord, I've got to have the B flat, our 5 chord, our 6 chord, our 7 chord, there's that B flat again, and back to the 1. So you can do that with any key. And that is how the chords work. And also you can use as well like sharps or flats as well when it comes to the chords. So if I am in the key of C and I have a 1 chord, then if I play this chord right here, in the key of C we have B flat, D, F, then this is a flat 7 chord. Here's our 7, and so we flat the 7 and we play this chord. So that happens to be a flat 7 chord. It's a major chord, so I'm not saying it's major because normally if a chord is major, then we don't have to say major all the time. But if it was a minor chord, then I would say that is a minor flat 7 chord, or a flat 7 minor chord. It gets a little complicated the more you use accidentals for the interval numbers, so if you sharp them or flat them. But that is definitely going to help you to understand how it works the more complicated it gets anyway. So here is a 7 chord in the key of C, and here is a flat 7 major chord in the key of C. All right. Now there you go. That is the chords, and that's how the chords go in the scale and their interval numbers. Let's talk about one more thing. Why are the interval numbers important? Why should we care about them or use them or think about them? And there is at least one big reason I can think of, and that is transposing. So if we were to take the song Mary Had a Little Lamb, let me just play the first part for you in the key of C. In the key of C, it looks like this. Let's look at it a little slower with the notes. We have E, D, C, D, E, E, E. Those are the notes we just played. E, D, C, D, E, E, E. And that's the first part of Mary Had a Little Lamb, right? Mary had a little lamb. Okay, so if we only know those note names, C, D, and E, if that's all we know, then what happens is we can only play that song in the key of C. Because those are the note names, those are the letters. And the letters don't change. The letters always stay the same. This is always C right here. And this is middle C also on my keyboard. This is a C. But if we're in the key of C, then this is the 1. So the numbers can change. And the system still works wherever you're at. Whatever note you happen to make your 1, whatever, it doesn't matter, then the interval numbers are still the same. So you can use the interval numbers to transpose. So if we were to take the interval numbers now and look at and play that first part of Mary Had a Little Lamb using intervals instead of notes, here is what it looks like. Remember, we have in the key of C, we have 1, 2, 3. So these are the intervals. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. And just remember that. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Let's go back to the key of F again. That's our other example key. So if I only know the notes, which are C, D, and E, E, D, C, D, E, E, that does not help me here. I am not, if I'm in the key of F, this is my starting position on F, that does not help me if I'm thinking E, D, C, D, E, 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 because then I am up here. And it doesn't work because I'm not in that key. But if I'm thinking, remember, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3, those are interval numbers, then I can just think, okay, I'm in the key of F, this is my 1, this is the 2, and this is the 3. So how do I do 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. There we go, just like that. So the note names, the letters, do not move, but the intervals do. I hope that makes sense for you. So that is how that works. I can take those interval numbers and use them anywhere on the piano to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Let's take it 1/2 step up to G flat major. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. Now if I take it up again to G, then what is our 1? Here's our 1, our 2, our 3. Mary had a little lamb. I could take it down to D flat major and make this our 1. So this is 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 3, 3. All right, and that is how that works. I could keep going through all 12 keys, but there's no need to do that. All right, and that is that. That's how the interval numbers work. That is how to find them, how to figure them out. That's what the chords are that go along with them. And lastly, of course, why they're important and how you can use that in the long run. It is very important to know interval numbers because if you know the notes, that is very good. That's the starting point. But then knowing the interval numbers will really help you to know your piano, your keyboard, your notes. It'll really help you to have a feel with where you can go with things and to just understand things better. It really opens things up in a huge way that the notes simply do not. You can take melodies, you can take chords, and you could take this and you could move it anywhere on the keyboard. You could move that up to F. Just like that. You can do that all over the place because you know the interval numbers. So I really hope that this lesson helped you and clarified what they are for you. And again, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments section. I'll be so happy to hear from you. And thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.